Welcome to Rich Conversations. Something I've been thinking about over the past few weeks is communication. It makes the world go round, it makes your world go round, it makes my world go round. If we all just communicated a little better, right? Someone recently asked me what I majored in college. It was such an odd question. I haven't been asked that in a long time. It seems like a in the box way of thinking to me. Like it's too simple to just judge a person based on a major. And it seems like major is something like you would use for a resume. I haven't filled out a resume in like 5 or 6 years because nothing I do is ever for a resume. I'm never thinking this will look good on a resume. But the answer is communication. Technically, I double majored in media and cinema studies and advertising and public relations and minored in applied psychology. But that's a mouthful, right? I don't want to say that, so I say communication. I remember back in school, and everybody would joke about the communication majors. That's the easy one. Communication has this rap for being like the easy major. But everybody in college is asking about your post-grad plans, and communication seems like the most abstract or the one without a clear route to attaining a job right after school because it's too broad. So what does that mean? Now I often hear people complain that they never use their major. And that is remarkable to me. Like what were you doing in college that you're not applying what you learned during that, You maybe weren't thinking about the future. Maybe you were just thinking about in the moment, right? People like tangible things or things they view as tangible. It's challenging for people to wrap their heads around something abstract. Communication, though, is used every single day, verbally and non-verbally. Our presidential election was decided by how the candidates communicated their messages. Whoever communicates better will win the election. Here's the caveat, though. You can't just communicate one way. Everybody's different. So you need to communicate in a way that will resonate with each person. And that's the trait of leadership, the willingness to be flexible and consider how other people learn and how they'll most be effective. We talked about Phil Jackson recently and how he communicated his philosophy with players to build a sense of oneness among the team. What's this player's personality like? What's their background like? What are their values? Are they visual learners or are they audio learners? There's so many things to consider with communication. As an example, last week, Thursday, I popped over to my friend's house to watch the Packer game. Although we didn't really watch much of the Packer game because they blew out the 49ers. So we had some time for Jason to get me caught up on the election because I unplugged last week. So everything I learned about the election was from him that night. So we, instead of watching a lot of the Packer game, we watched CNN. And we even dropped in a Fox News every now and then. And I asked him why he preferred watching CNN instead of the many other choices he had. And he answered, they have the best graphics and statistics, not just people talking. And as a healthcare analyst, his mind works in numbers and logic. Other people's minds work differently, right? Communication can be applied as big as the world or as small as your individual self and how you talk to yourself to make sense of the world around you and the purpose of your existence. I'm sure no one will disagree with me that communication plays an enormous role in our relationships, especially with our partners, right? Most conflicts come from misunderstanding or misinterpretation. The quicker you figure out the best way to communicate to someone, the more success you'll have together. Isn't that what we want more of? To be listened to and to be living harmoniously with our families, neighbors, and the rest of the world. Pay attention to how people communicate. Think about what's the best way to communicate with you. Life will be better.